Hi, I'm Rachel Ficking. Welcome to my channel. This week I am tackling shirt dresses. It's the end of January here in the UK and it's still really cold, but it's kind of the end of the season and I'm looking towards spring. So I don't feel like tackling a very sort of wintry garment. At the same time, don't really want to tackle something too summery in styling and fabrication. And I thought shirt dresses were a good sort of trans-seasonal item because it very much depends on the fabric that you choose, from a lightweight cotton to a heavier corduroy perhaps, or medium weight corduroy rather. I found 10 and they are lovely. Oh, seriously, I love them and I hope you like them as much. So let's begin. I'm going to start with the Style Arc Christina dress. Okay, so the sort of essential information you need, sorry if I'm looking away from the screen, I'm looking at my computer screen with all my infographics on. Okay, so PDF, multi or single size, and you've got 3 size sets, 4 to 16, 10 to 22, and 18 to 30. And just out of interest, this pattern is modelled on a B cup for somebody who's 5'6", just to give you a sense of how it might fit you. Okay, those are Australian sizes, but they're the same as UK sizes. So, lovely style, button through, collar stand, and it's got this nice waist yoke detail, which I love, which I think is really, really flattering, with gentle gathers going into the top of the yoke. And it's got side pockets brilliantly, which I absolutely love. Slightly exaggerated long cuff, and it's mid-calf length. Also nice detail at the back with the box pleat, quite a sort of a shirty detail there. Love it. I think it's a really, really flattering style. Okay, moving on to one from Viki Sews. I think this is really, really stylish. And they've also got instructions for this in leather, and I'll put another image up after this one for you to see. Again, these are nearly all PDFs as usual. 10 sizes 34 to 52, those are Euro sizes. And they also make this pattern in 4 heights, so you can select your size and one of 4 height sets as well. So it's loose, it's straight, but it's belted with a detachable belt. It's got this nice front plunge detail, collar and a stand, an additional collar tie. Really, really like the centre front slit detail. So you've got set in sleeves, which are semi-fitted with a cuff detail, and then you've got these quite deep side splits at either side, which I really like. I think I might make them a bit shorter for me. They look a bit too revealing for me at my age, but super, super stylish. And then you can see the second infographic here. They've got instructions for leather. It's not my cup of tea, but I think it's lovely, absolutely lovely. In fact, in the picture there you can see how high those side splits are, a bit racy for me, way too high. And one thing I should say is I think there's quite a lot of top stitching going on in this style, which I like personally, but just something to be aware of. And I think it's an intermediate sort of pattern in terms of ability. Okay, so that was from Viki Sews. Love this next one from Fibre Mood, the Phyllis dress. Again, it's a PDF, sizes extra small to extra large. So it's a really simple shirt dress, except they've got this sort of asymmetrical pleating detail on the right side as worn into the front button placket, which I just think is fab. And then you've got this 3/4 sleeve with a split in the cuff, and then there's an option just to have a collar stand without the conventional collar. I mean, I can imagine that in a lightweight cotton poplin or a really fine corduroy. Viscose crepe would be absolutely lovely. So that was number 3. Okay, right. I've got two images for this one, as a long and a short version. I looked at this initially. This is from Vogue, and it's a paper pattern V1933, sizes 6 to 24. So I thought, well, that's a bit ordinary. And then when I looked at it again, I realised it's got this quite interesting detail underneath the this seam. The underseam of the sleeve has got a concealed button wrap, and that's where the cuff opens as well, which I thought was quite interesting. And I really love the long version. I have to be completely honest, I don't know when or if I would ever wear it. It's the kind of thing you could sort of waft around in, isn't it? And it's really, really lovely. It's just like a really long classic shirt with this slightly quirky detail on the sleeve. Particularly like it. So you've got the long version there. Looks like they've made it in a nice cotton poplin. And then the short version, this would make a great sort of over swimming costume sort of beach holiday piece, wouldn't it? They look like they've made it in a fine silk crepe de chine print, perhaps. I'm guessing. You could, you know, it would be great sort of for resort wear, but you could also make it in a sort of a Tana lawn or something like that in plain white, and it would be a sort of wardrobe staple and a sort of layering piece. A particularly nice pattern, I think, from Vogue. Right, next one is on the page is from Itch to Stitch, and I think this is really, really cute because, again, a bit like the one that we just saw from the Phyllis dress from Fibre Mood. It's just a slight sort of twist on a really, really classic shape with this front tie detail. It's also got side pockets, which I also love. Okay, sizing is interesting on this. It's got 12 sizes, 00 to size 20, and it's also designed in 5 cup sizes, A, B, C, D, and double D. So the link is below. Have a look and go and you can explore that a bit more and look at it in a bit more detail. But there's lots of sizing options there, especially if you have a larger bust, because I know a lot of these patterns are modelled on a sort of a B or a C cup. So if you're larger in that area, this could be a really great pattern for you. Yeah, so I love that tie detail. It's centre front. It's got a long sleeve with a cuff, plain short sleeve, no cuff, or short sleeve with a cuff. And because it's got that waist seam detail, you could possibly do contrasting colours, contrasting fabrics. It's also got a separate back yoke, quite interesting, but I thought that was a particularly cute style. You could wear it on holiday, you could wear it to the office actually. Imagine making that in a pin and a shirting stripe. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's the Itch to Stitch Ladera dress, and don't forget it's got options on 5 cup sizes within their size offering, so could be quite an interesting one to look at. Okay, and coming up I've got another one from Fibre Mood. So this is a big exaggerated minimalist shirt. It's got the classic details. It's got a collar stand, a concealed front button placket, and it's got these big exaggerated sleeves which look like they're about 3/4. For me, I would have to wear it belted, and I'd probably make it in something fluid with a bit of weight to it, because I'm 5'5"-ish on a good day, so not particularly tall, and I think it might swamp me a bit, but I really like the rope belt here. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's tied in a reef knot. I should know that. Yeah, lovely, absolutely lovely, and a sort of a plain lightweight cotton lawn or poplin. As I said, I think I'd probably make it in something a bit drapey, so it's not so voluminous, but I think it's a really great style. Okay, well, I've got one from McCall's next. And it's also got, a bit like the Itch to Stitch, it's got this sort of wrap detail at the front. Really like it. I like the in the illustration in the stripes. I think it's quite fab. So you have 2 lengths here, You've got knee length, and then you've got a sort of midi length, I guess. And it could be sleeveless, it can be short sleeved or long sleeves, and it's got a collar, stand and centre front placket, back body darts. Quite a simple shape, but quite a versatile piece. And let's look at the size. It's paper, a bit like the Vogue pattern. UK 6 to 12, 14 to 22, 24 to 32. So broad size range there, 3 size sets. Imagine that in cottons, linens, prints, stripes, gosh, all sorts. I think that's quite fab. Right, next one is from Sew Over It. This is really cute, the vintage shirt dress. It's got a Revere style collar, gauging front yoke, buttoned through, and body darts, and then the option is that it's sleeveless, or it's got 3/4 sleeves with, I think it's a turn back cuff, but you could amend that sleeve to make it a short sleeve, of course, as well. Really, really cute. Sizes 8 to 20. It's a PDF, again intermediate in terms of sewing ability. Poplin, lawn, viscose, I can see that in a Liberty print. You could do a bit of colour blocking because you've got the waist seam there. You could have a darker bodice and a paler skirt. I actually can imagine it in a cotton broderie or something like that as well. I thought it would be quite pretty. Okay, moving on. Another one from Viki Sews. This is the Eleonora dress. I think this looks maybe a little bit 70s. I really, really like it. Again, it's an intermediate, sizes 34 to 52 Euro sizes, and again they have it available in 4 different heights. But you can have a look at the link below and you can look at that in more detail. So it's loose and it's straight. It's got a detachable belt with the belt loops, and it's got these lovely vented pockets just below the hip, and a nice sort of sleeve cuff detail with a tab and a button, and also on the back yoke they've got the tab detail there, so they're sort of repeating that little design detail. It actually says that it's triple stitched, and I've done 2 infographics, and I've done a larger version of the working drawings here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on screen, but you can have a look at yourself at the link. And I think it's triple stitched around the collar, the fronts, the belt, and the little tabs that they have, and also around the pocket detail. I mean, I suppose you could just do single or twin needling, but I think triple stitching would be a particularly nice detail. Can see that on in a slightly heavier weight viscose twill perhaps, or a wool. Nice, really nice, but also in a cotton sateen. I think it's really stylish, a really stylish piece. Okay, now this last one, it's not strictly a shirt dress, but it's a wrap dress combined with a shirt dress. I had seen it before and I hadn't taken all that much notice of it, and I looked at it when I was trying to pull together stars for this video, and I thought, gosh, that is lovely. It's really stunning. The Vogue V1933 from Rucci, paper pattern, it's Vogue, sizes 6 to 12 or 14 to 20, and it's described as close fitting, lined edge to edge, belt with inside ties with hook and eye closure, I'm guessing for the wrap, and it's described as having a swan neckline, side pockets and tulip shaped sleeves. And if you look at, I've got a second infographic which shows the line drawing in more detail. I don't really know how to describe it actually. It's also got panel seaming at the hem, self belt. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I'd like to have a go at this. It's marked as advanced, and although it's got lots of seaming. The silhouette is quite simple, and you'd have to just get a most amazing fit and finish on it, wouldn't you? But it is quite tempting. I would quite like to have a go at that one. So that's my final one. I thought I'd end up with a sort of quite spectacular one, and I think that's incredible. As always, if any of you have made any of these, it's great to have your feedback, and if you've got a particular shirt dress pattern that you've made and you absolutely love, please share that with us too. I hope you liked them and found them interesting. Well, that's my take on shirt dresses. I think there are some beautiful styles there. I hope you agree. I feel very inspired to make one, but it'll have to go onto the long list of things that I'm trying to make to show you. I'm currently working on the puff and pencil for zip vest with the with sleeves that I showed you in last Wednesday's midweek video, which is all about getting a good fit. Thanks for all your feedback and comments on that video. It's quite interesting. I tried to pitch it for sort of beginners. I'm aware there are lots of other considerations you can take into account when you're looking at the fit of a garment and when you're initially looking at the sewing pattern. So I think I'll probably be making another video in the same vein, but I think probably what I will do is find a specific pattern, but make it from start to finish with you and go through the fit process in much more detail, because I only really touched on some of the information I think on Wednesday. Anyway, lots of positive comments. Thank you very, very much. It was interesting to read them, and I try and respond to as many as possible. As I can, so I'm sorry if I haven't responded to you yet. I will get round to it. I've got quite a lot of comments to get through, which is brilliant, so thank you very much. Yeah, as always, thank you for your comments and your subscribing. It keeps me going and inspires me to make new content for you. I will be back on Wednesday with another of my midweek videos. Not quite sure what it's going to be yet. Anyway, I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.